He's been called Mr. San Diego. He has sat on more than 70 boards, was head of the Port Commission for several years, and most recently helped negotiate the new convention center expansion. Steve Cushman is the consummate insider. He joins me now to talk about his vision for a new Chargers stadium. Now, Mr. Cushman, you just finished working for the last 3 years for the past mayor, Jerry Sanders, negotiating a new, bigger convention center. There's been a lot of talk about perhaps building a new Chargers stadium downtown, but I think you're in a position to know whether or not a plan to build a stadium downtown is actually viable, or is there something better?
Well, one thing I know, it's not going to be on the 10th Avenue Marine Terminal. However, there is a site across the street that we looked at for the expansion of the convention center at one time that possibly could be that downtown site. The advantage of downtown, of course, is there's already lots of infrastructure. The trolley is there. There's lots of parking. Downtown could work. Every site has its limitations. Obviously, there's a bus terminal there now, so we'd have to clean it up. But that is certainly one of the potential sites.
Now, you mentioned the 10th Avenue Marine Terminal, so I want to throw in another name there, Doug Manchester. So he's a hotel developer, pretty famous guy around town, owner of the newspaper. You know that his paper's been pushing for 10th Avenue Marine Terminal. I was at a breakfast meeting about a month or so ago where he was the guest speaker at SDSU, and he actually said, you know what, I think redeveloping Qualcomm is a better idea. Give me $200 million and I could do this. Now, that's an idea that appeals to you, isn't it?
It does. Doug and I have been friends for over 40 years, and this solution, I think, has some legs. Whether the figure is 200 million, 100 million, 400 million, obviously, I don't think any of us know. I think what it does bring up, though, is that the solution should be on the table. We certainly do not want the Chargers to leave. Dean Spanos and his family have spent over $10 million in 10 years. They've certainly been wonderful public citizens. If we don't come up with a solution, I am very concerned they're going to leave San Diego. So I think Qualcomm should be on the table. I believe that we should hire a firm such as we hired for the convention center expansion out of Arizona, who has a division that does this type of analysis. I think that's what we should do. I think as we move forward in this area, this solution could be the answer, because you realize this is a piece of property today that's costing the city money every single year. I think it's a piece of property that could bring lots of income to the city if we put in apartments and retail and the development of a new stadium. I think it could be a wonderful issue for us.
Would you work with Doug Manchester on a proposal like this?
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love to. Doug and I have worked on a lot of things over a lot of years, sometimes together, sometimes unfortunately on opposite sides of the table. But I have tremendous respect for Doug. And if there's anybody that could do it, Doug and Perry Deely, who handles his real estate, they're wonderful people. They've spent a lot of time looking at this. As you know, Perry Deely, Charles Black, a number of years ago, did a study on Qualcomm. I think it should be back on the table.
I know you also have a relationship with the Spanos family. Back in '07, you were quoted as saying, look, I wouldn't be talking about a new stadium unless I knew they wanted to stay in San Diego. And you said you knew. You felt assured that they did. Have you had conversations with them recently about this?
I have not recently had any conversations with Dean Spanos or Mark Fabiani. Back in '07, I served on the Port Commission. At that time, we had 550 acres still there in Chula Vista. It was something that the team was interested in. We did some study at the time. We first looked at National City. That didn't work out. But I still feel that Chula Vista is also a viable site if, in fact, the Chargers wanted to look at it. That's what we were talking about in '07. We spent a lot of time on it. It didn't work at that time, but I think no reason it, too, couldn't be on the table.
So the current mayor, the new mayor, Bob Filner, has said, look, I'm going to be the toughest negotiator when it comes to a new stadium, and I don't think we should spend any public money. Could you envision redeveloping Qualcomm without taxpayer funds?
I believe it's possible. I believe it is one potential solution if, in fact, the city is now losing money on that piece of property. If, in fact, there was no rent that the developer had to pay, if, in fact, the NFL would put up some money for the process, if, in fact, you could build apartments and retail, I think it could be done without public subsidy.
We don't have a lot of time left now, though, coming off such a bad season. You know, no head coach, no general manager right now. Do you think there's going to be public support behind a new stadium at all?
You know, unfortunately, sports, there are good days and bad days. It was a tough year. I have no hesitation paying for my season tickets for next year. I know it's going to be great. We always say, oh, it's a rebuilding year. This was a tough year. But let me tell you, we're all enthused about the Chargers. We have to go through this rough patch, but I know it's going to be a winner for us.
Steve Cushman, thanks so much for being here.